Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're dissecting the claims, the promises, and the actual mechanics of modern film distribution. We'll be looking specifically at a promotional pitch from a company called Shortfundly. Look, if you've ever wondered how indie creators actually get their stuff onto major streaming platforms, well, you're in the right place. Let's dive right in. So, we're starting off with literally the ultimate question for any filmmaker. How exactly do you get your passion project off your lossy hard drive and onto the screens of a massive global audience? Because let's be real, it's one thing to shoot a brilliant indie film, it's a completely different beast to navigate the highly corporatized, super gate-kept world of content distribution. You've got the art, sure, but how do you actually get the eyeballs? That brings us to our first section, the streaming platform dream. Notice how the promotional material goes straight for the industry giants. We're talking Netflix, boldly branded as the world's leading streaming platform, right alongside Amazon Prime Video, pitching that global audience and unlimited opportunities. They're not messing around with niche, localized sites here. The pitch is strictly top tier. They're aiming right for the absolute crown jewels of the streaming ecosystem. And if you do manage to land a spot on these platforms, the promo highlights three major outcomes. It's basically the holy grail for indie creators: global reach, maximum exposure, and better revenue. For someone used to, fighting for scraps at local festivals or battling algorithmic obscurity on free video sites, these three things are an absolute game changer. It's the promise of turning your local art into a globally monetized asset. Moving on to part 2, bridging the distribution gap. Enter Shortfundly. The way they brand themselves on their flyer is pretty striking. They're loud and proud about being a global film distribution company and a best distribution partner. Everything from the bold cinematic typography to the heavy golds and red against a dark background, it's totally designed to look authoritative and distinctly Hollywood. They aren't just selling a service, they're basically selling a golden ticket to the big leagues. And right out of the gate, to establish credibility, they flash this golden trophy icon, claiming they are trusted by over 1,000 filmmakers worldwide. Now, in an industry where trust is incredibly fragile, and let's face it, scams are pretty common, leading with a metric like that is a super strategic move. It's instant social proof. It tells you, hey, we've done this before, and a massive community already trusts us. All right, part 3, navigating the OTT process. Under the very reassuring heading, "We handle everything," Shortfundly maps out a really specific 4-step pipeline. It kicks off with content review and strategy, basically making sure your film is actually up to standard. Then it moves into OTT pitching and negotiation, followed by licensing and contracts, and wraps up with delivery and go-live support. For a filmmaker who might be completely overwhelmed by the business side of things, seeing this start-to-finish workflow, that's definitely meant to take the anxiety out of distribution. Let's actually zoom in on step 2 for a second. OTT pitching and negotiation is arguably the most crucial piece of the whole puzzle. This is the critical phase of presenting the film to streaming platforms and hammering out the terms. Because, as you probably know, streaming giants almost never accept unsolicited submissions from individuals. You can't just email an MP4 file to Netflix. This is where the distributor steps in, leveraging their connections to bypass the gatekeepers and get platform execs to actually sit down, watch the film, and acquire it. Then, assuming the pitch goes well, we hit step 3, licensing and contracts. This is where the company claims to navigate the insanely dense legal maze of the entertainment industry for you. They're securing the complex legal agreements that dictate exactly how, where, and for how much your film can be distributed. It's unglamorous work for sure, but without airtight licensing, you cannot monetize safely. They're positioning themselves as your legal shield in this arena. Which leads us to part 4, the value proposition explained. Under the heading, "Why Choose Shortfundly?" they lay out 5 distinct value propositions. They really emphasize their existing global distribution network and strong OTT partnerships, again, just reminding you that they hold the keys to the kingdom. They also promise maximum visibility and engagement, along with competitive licensing deals, so you actually get paid fairly. And finally, secure and professional distribution to protect your intellectual property. But ultimately, the whole shebang is built around fulfilling one incredibly bold claim. We get your film seen by millions worldwide. It's slapped right there next to a glowing image of a globally connected Earth. Honestly, this is the emotional core of the whole pitch today. Everything we just talked about, the legal hurdles, the networking, the platform targeting, it's all in service to this one specific dream. It hits right at the absolute heart of a filmmaker's ultimate ambition. And finally, part 5, taking the next step. With a really urgent call to action, the flyer asks, ready to take your film to the next level? Submit your film today. To get you to actually do that, they give you 2 super accessible options: their website portal and, pretty notably, a dedicated WhatsApp number. Throwing a direct messaging app like WhatsApp in there is a really modern, responsive touch. It's all about removing any lingering friction between the creator and the distributor. The whole pitch is perfectly summed up in this punchy tagline right at the bottom right corner: your story, our platform, global audience. It is a brilliant, totally distilled version of their business model. You bring the raw narrative, they provide the infrastructural muscle, and boom, worldwide reach. So, if the gates to millions of viewers can truly be unlocked by a dedicated distribution partner, well, the only question left to ask yourself is your story truly ready for the global stage? Thanks for joining me on this explainer today, and keep creating.